Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're actually playing another one of AutoAim's decks, another one he went 5-0 with in a Grand Prix, so definitely a deck I would recommend playing because it does exceptionally well. So this is of course D-Shift. A lot of you guys don't like this deck either, even though we just did a Daria video. I really wanted to do this one because I wanted to cover some of the stronger decks for this, so you guys have decks for Grand Prix this week. Because why not? You really are probably going to need them, so I thought I'd better at least cover them. I think this will be the last Rune video, unless for some reason I decide to do Earth Rune, but I reckon this will be it. So you guys don't have to worry about any more Rune videos, and tomorrow should be something fresh. So, of course, this deck has all your standard D-Shift stuff, nothing too surprising. This one mainly focuses on pushing the Giant Chimera and D-Shift to its upper limits, really giving you those final pushes. Unfortunately, I don't have very diverse videos for you guys, but it is D-Shift. It's a deck that does the same thing no matter the opponent. You really aren't looking for anything too specific in your matchups, mainly just to play as many spells as you can for the best amount of value. So, we'll get right into this and check out the video. So this is the first Rune match I have. We have two Rune matches. This first one wasn't too bad at all. The second one was much closer, so please stay tuned for that one because the ending was just so great. I really love getting to that part, so when we get there you'll see why. Of course, we start off with the double consecration of Magic Owl. I do dump the consecrations only because I don't really like them in my opener. There's much better cards that I would prefer to have over the consecration, so really pushing for those instead. Of course, we do end up drawing the Insight straight off the top there, which was absolutely perfect, into another Insight. Couldn't ask for anything much better. The opponent does go for their Magic Missile though. This is where, you know, a spell boost off is at war. Of course, aggro decks do tend to eat D-Shift alive, but I think this deck has a pretty good early game, so as long as you get the right cards at the start, you are good. Double Insight though was absolutely perfect, especially when you draw Chimera and Giant Chimera off them. You couldn't ask for a much better set of draws. Especially with that one, Magic Missile, another great card to draw, especially being able to spell boost all of these. Fate's Hand going down to 1, playing it out just to use up the extra point there, mainly because I know I've got a really solid next turn with Owl anyway, so not really worried about having a 0 cost spell over a 1 cost spell when I'm going to use the same amount of value in the long run anyway. So, Magic Owl gets its play out. We're able to spell boost everything that we need to this turn. We already have our double D-Shifts, which are going to get massively boosted this turn, especially with being able to use Golem Assault and actually set up a ward, which will be great for next turn, being able to block out anything dangerous. Or if we don't end up needing it, we at least have it there to use. Using those Conjure Golems as both blockades or a way to really use Dimensional Shift is always great. So I do have a problem. I can't really take advantage of these consecrations too well, mainly just due to having too many cards, and that became a little bit of a problem here. I didn't want to burn anything at the moment because a lot of these spells are absolutely crazy, and being able to hold on to them I think is quite important, so I didn't really want to burn a spell. 3 cost to spell boost the cards once and draw 1 card. Doesn't feel quite as good as being able to get 2 cards out of it. Opponent though does end up removing this with their Fiery Embrace for 0. Not too bad for me because I do have a Chimera and a couple of Wind Blasts anyway, so I had plenty of things to remove stuff. So we do get to see our first consecration go down. Fortunately, don't get much, so I do decide to throw the Chimera down just so I have some free space in our hand. Don't really have anything else that I could have played anyway, so I think it was the only decent option. Of course, the opponent going very wide here, playing out a heap of little like golems, Conjure Golem, Scrap Golem, being able to use Fire Embrace again, a second one is just great. I mean, look at that, being able to clear off my cards, but we are absolutely going crazy with these spell boosts. Having Dimensional Shift at 8 already means that our Giant Chimera turn probably is going to definitely be next turn, which will do massive amounts of damage, so the more stuff that I can get off the board now, the easier the next turn is going to be. So with massive amounts of spell boosting, it does mean I should be able to at least take advantage of Conjure Golem and Silent Laboratory next turn, along with a Dimensional Shift, which will manage to deal massive amounts of damage, comboed with a second Dimensional Shift and Giant Chimera. There shouldn't be anything we can't do next turn, so no matter what board they play, we should be able to secure ourselves a victory with this massively spell boost hand. Fortunately, you can't click the spell boost button in your opponent's turn like this. A little disappointed. So, we'll see what we got. We've got some awesome spell boosts. Giant Chimera, just absolutely loving those spells. Giving itself a really nice boost. So, a 4-cost D-shift. Couldn't ask for anything better. I do decide to throw the Evolve on the zombie because this will allow me to remove these wards very, very easily without actually having to waste next turn. I can actually go 4 extra damage, even though I really just don't need it. I mean, I go straight for the D-shift, straight into the Fate's Hand. I can easily kill off one of these and go face, and still have a giant Chimera that is just huge. So, really, it didn't matter what my opponent would have had. I don't think it could have stopped me at that point in the game. So this next match, again against Runecraft, this time a little bit different. The last one was a weird Runecraft. I don't know what to say when you see things like Scrap Golem and stuff coming out, so I don't know how I felt about that matchup, but this one is definitely a Daria deck. So it's a Daria versus D-Shift matchup, which should be fairly interesting. Of course, seeing the Mysterious Knowledge turn 1 does mean that we're in a little bit of trouble. Being able to play our Magic Missile though, with really quite good cards in our hand, and getting a Summon Ice Form. I do like Summon Ice Form. I think it's a great card to have at least that one of in your deck. Being able to block out a potential threat such as maybe Bahamut is always handy. So Glow, absolutely removing this, getting us another draw, just trying to get cards at the moment, and drawing that Giant Chimera. We've already got the 2 pieces to our biggest combo in the deck, which is the D-Shift Chimera play. And Fate's Hand at 2, I couldn't really be happier. Of course, I don't really have much in my hand though, so I really only have Summon Ice Form to use. It's not great right now, but it's going to have to do. I do decide to hold the Fate's Hand at 1, just because I want to use the draw to boost whatever I draw next turn in this case, because I've got enough free space to do that. And lucky I did, because we did get a D-Shift, so boosting that is actually quite good. Although we do end up only with the Insight as a usable card, and unfortunately Wind Blast not being spell boost at all isn't usable on that 2-2 like I wanted, so Chimera had to be the way to go. That, or I could have left it up, but I really didn't want to leave them any potential board they could use against me. So, Dimensional Shift, Giant Chimera, Fiery Embrace, Dimensional Shift, Fiery Embrace, and Wind Blast. That is our hand right now, and it's looking super solid. I mean, our spell boosts are all good as well. I mean, we're definitely not low on spell boosts, so we're going to be going pretty mad. Of course, I do use the Fiery Embrace, just because I don't really have anything else to play at that point, and I really wanted to get something off. Fortunately, this is kind of their sweeping turn where they get to finally dump a Ogla and a Daria. I was a little concerned because I didn't want them to be playing like 3 Oglas on me and really flooding my board out. I was a little worried, but luckily those were the only 2 they played that turn, which means I can at least take advantage of the Wind Blast. Or actually, sorry, the Conjure Golem. I did decide to go with Conjure Golem just because Wind Blast wasn't going to be quite enough to remove both of these on its own like that. So the Guardian Golem at least can kill the 3-4, and then hopefully block out enough of that Daria or another potential card that would be a problem. So Chimera, should have kind of expected a Chimera honestly, but we only need to survive 1 or 2 turns. Which next turn we have Fiery Embrace and Wind Blast with massive amounts of damage, so that should not be an issue. And we did get the Chimera, so Wind Blast first, plus Fate's Hand, gives us some cards. We do get another Wind Blast with an Insight, which is absolutely perfect, and a Magic Owl on top of that, meaning we can actually play everything and remove everything now. Couldn't have asked for a better draw with that Wind Blast, really needed that card. Although getting the Owl made up for it in general, so the only risk now is, do I die in the next turn? Next turn, Double Blade Mage would be lethal. The question is, do they have it? If they don't, that's where we secure victory. And with 3 D-Shifts in hand and a Giant Chimera, I don't think there is anything that could stand in our way in the next turn. So do they have enough damage to kill me? We already seen double Angelic Snipes and stuff. It's not going to be enough. The question was, did they have it? They did not have it, which was amazing. I was so happy. Being able to throw the dimensional shift down is great. Being able to do whatever we need to, get this Chimera down. I really wanted to BM and just go for it and play all my D shifts, all my cards, get everything out there, but I did the right thing. Just left that one D shift go off, and then threw a couple of followers and the Chimera to face for a epic lethal. Loving it. But always great when you have 21 damage Chimera. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, you can hit that like button and subscribe. Even if you don't like this deck, please hit the like button. It does help out the channel so we can do more decks. Some stuff hopefully you guys will like. Like I said, this should be the last rune deck I do for the unlimited week, so it might be a while before you go back and check something like this out. But again, you can find the deck list in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.